recording, I think. Yes, we're recording. Let's just view it a little bit more. Get it a bit bigger. Okay, we're off.
Okay.
So, what's the first page?
First page.
Doesn't look very colourful yet.
No, I've gotta make it more visually appealing. Introduction.
Nice.
I might redo this as a text box instead, just to.
Yeah.
This seems kind of clunky for a.
But you can make it show. You don't have to make it retractable. So
Okay.
it's up to you, right?
Yeah, I can do that too.
Yeah.
It's just the introduction to the unit, what we did, what the intentions were for the unit, blah blah blah.
So what did you choose on this one? Just to click on what's down your personal collection. Okay. Darn it! Didn't show. It's coming. No, it's not showing.
Do I have to log into my? Another thing that I was having that was definitely a Firefox issue was some things had to be you had to click and say anyone with the link can access this versus it just being
this is the one I couldn't access at home either. I tried.
Okay.
The other pages do work.
Okay. So I just have to. I think I just have to drop that into my personal and then.
Because this one does work. Yeah.
Okay.
See, I noticed that last night. I couldn't get it to open, and I logged in all sorts of things.
Okay. Let me try logging into my.
No, just go on this page. Go to this page rather than get to techie things.
Okay.
We're still recording. We'll come back to the front page after we've done the other ones.
Sounds good. So I chose for this page to look at the lesson sequence.
Yeah.
And I wanted to analyze my planning skills because I feel like it's not a strength of mine.
Right.
Planning. I think it was a strength of Emma's, undoubtedly, and I probably leaned on her a little bit for some of the planning stuff. So what I wrote for my will be good.
Yeah.
So what I wrote for this is it's something that I'm okay at, but it's definitely something I can improve on. What we did for our learning intentions lesson, the sequence is we kind of laid out what we did this on the first day, is that we laid out kind of what we wanted from A to B, what we wanted to look at.
So by the end of lessons, I thought we wanted this, and so then we went back.
Exactly.
So what we're going to do
it was a back and forth between what we wanted and what we were doing.
So that was the backup planning idea.
Yeah.
Right?
So we definitely went back and forth with that, and we definitely we were constantly adjusting.
Good.
We kind of had a slight idea of what we were going to do for each lesson, but after a lesson, we would kind of go back and say, okay, we didn't get this done, or like this didn't work out quite how we wanted it.
So when you say here you want to be more thorough in your planning, what's the thoroughness that you think you're needing to do now?
I think that's more of like an overview of just like everything as a planner. So
your big picture idea.
This is my big picture as far as like putting more detail into my plans, putting more specifics, using more graphics. Because when I did my personal, like my day of teaching, I felt that there was times where my own lesson was kind of hard to like.
Right.
Like what do I want to do here? And
so this is where you're going back to here. What is the real these things that's driving your specifics? So rather than just keeping kids occupied and engaged in yoga, what are they learning that's transferable to the curriculum in yoga? And that's often based on the way in which I teach them, rather than the content of yoga.
Yeah.
So how they learn to do the content of yoga, the how part is as, if not more important than the actual yoga part. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is where the teaching styles becomes a very useful tool, right?
Which
breaks that.
The teaching styles are, I think, what I took the most out of from. I think I talked more about it in one of my later ones. But the teaching styles are definitely, I think, what stuck with me the most as being I think I might reflect on it here.
Yeah. And here what I suggest you do, it didn't show, but if that showed, and I did the same for, so that was great, is it's a great example to go, okay, here's my first lesson, right?
Yeah.
And this is what it looked like. And here's what my last lesson looked like. And the growth is huge because, right? And that captures your growth over time, because those 4 lessons, I went to the half the page, I don't know where you got going there, but the 4 lessons were ideal for you to get it done because I've never taught before. But what am I trying to achieve here?
Yeah.
Right? And I'm actually planning to achieve things beyond yoga.
Definitely. And that's...
Your video called that really well.
I think so too.
Yeah. The team stuff and the young girls were really engaged, and there was a big event to finish with. So there was a performance.
That was okay. So now that you said that, that's what my first page reflection was on the video, and kind of the what it captured for our. I'll find it after, but yeah, that was kind of what I looked back on for the final one.
So
okay,
so click on the personal reflection.
For this one,
nice. Works.
Thank God. I analyzed our lesson plans, so these as kind of a whole, and my pedagogical skills.
Right.
So that's the teaching styles, basically, right? Yeah. So I felt that this unit as a whole kind of was a really positive experience for me in terms of the teaching styles, because we put so much into our forums learning, like reading about the teaching styles and you lecturing a little bit about the teaching styles and demonstrating the teaching styles in our activity stuff that we did. But actually being able to apply this to a group of students and see what each style brings out in the kids and what type of learning like can occur under different styles. And this also led into our final project, because we used the divergent style of them exploring. Yeah. And just what it produced, I thought was really cool for like what we were looking for as a whole. So I put myself kind of as a
developing towards provision.
In between.
Yeah, I would have said exactly the same. Yeah.
Definitely,
you're aware of it, and now you're starting to plan for it.
Exactly, and as a goal, I think I'm sure in the next couple of years before I'm done with school, I will have coaching experiences and teaching experiences and
what program?
jobs.
What program are you in?
I'm doing rec and health as well.
So you're transferring across, right?
Yeah,
right.
And I've done stuff like kids camps in the past, and I could probably see myself doing that kind of thing again. And using stuff like Divergent rather than just telling the kids what they're doing and why they're like, we're doing this, having things like the Divergent style kind of in my back pocket for them to explore and go from A to B in kind of their own way. I thought learning those were really cool.
So what you need to know now is really look at the inquiry model.
Okay.
And see some of the structures they put in there, so that you can take what you've got from Mostyn and then look at how you can do it programmatically. Yeah. Because they've got some really cool a bit like you saw with Seb, there was always a pattern, right? Yeah. They would do the safety thing first, you do repetition of the safety things, there would be convergent questions on that. Okay, now we're going to try this with somebody giving you feedback on. Mm-hmm. So reciprocal and practice. Now you've done that, now you're going to have a challenge where it's open-ended. Yeah. Now we all come in as a group and we reflect on what have we all learned by trying to do things? And then, right? And so every time he did it,
progresses.
You could see a combination of styles, but he was basically following an inquiry model.
Which is really cool.
Right? And so when he was doing that, I'm like, okay, he's just modeling what you're starting to write about when you combine the styles.
Exactly. And that's where you're going, right? Is not... that's what I like about those overlook... What are they called? The
lesson sequence design?
No, our second set of
instructional models.
Yeah, the instructional models, where that they combined everything that we had looked at as like not less looking at things as individuals, but looking where can we go from here to here to here.
Well, it's an interesting historical look at phys ed, because basically from Mostyn teaching styles to the instructional models, you've seen the evolution of pedagogy in phys ed. That's where you go. And then this page presents really well.
I thought so.
Right? Because you've got pictures of the kids doing it, right?
Yeah. And that's why I left these as not drop downs. These are kind of the focal points, and this is just our little power. It's supposed to be our PowerPoint. I gotta
go get it fixed, right? Because you're going to use this. So I mean, you'll pass from the class because I know you've got it.
Yeah.
But get it to work so it works outside of UVic.
Yeah.
Make sure it's in your personal account. Make sure it's embedded properly. And then if you ever want to send it, people are going to look at this and go, "Whoa, this person knows how to teach in way more diverse ways than command and practice.
Yeah.
Right? And even this task card is you simplified it, it's good focus, right? That's a way better task card than you first came up with.
Oh, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
And Mostyn would actually say, yep, it's got all the, because there's accountability built in.
Yeah.
That's part of what a task card needs. And good images.
Yeah.
With the background taken out. Great. So what was your reflection then?
I reflected on the final projects.
Yeah.
Even though these weren't what we produced, they were, I think, something that I was super proud of.
And you built the community skills, right?
Exactly.
And you got the girls working together collectively.
Exactly. And it also, like, I liked our the way we assessed our overall thing, because this was kind of like a physical, tangible thing that they made.
Yeah.
These sequences with their photos and like each asana, but it also, like, the other main part of our assessment was them being able to present this to their peers and teach their way through their sequence. And I think that will stick with them as
nice.
Something that they've done. And a big thing that we brought up repeatedly was, do these outside of this time. Like, this is such a good, healthy way to spend 15 minutes during the day. Do it with your parents. Do it like.
And you had the video of Kristen practice outside.
Yeah,
exactly. Saw that video.
That was awesome. And she was a real go-getter, so I was expecting that almost.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
And you also, though you're doing building collaborative skills, you're also doing assessing skills at the same time, because you've got the kids into a self-assessment and a peer assessment process by doing the presentation.
Yeah. And I briefly mentioned that I felt that this was a good overall formal assessment. It wasn't like numbers or anything, but like it brought something. But I did say that something that I want to improve on is giving feedback during sessions, as like for them to get more out of each session.
Well, Lisa gave you that feedback, right? To be aware of when you're talking to one that you're seeing others.
Yeah.
And try to reinforce the positive and not allow the little off-task behavior to be ignored.
Yeah.
Right? So sometimes you can do private comment, or you just focus the attention on. I expect everyone doing just like Krista is doing over here.
And I was bad. I knew that that's something that I should be working on, but I wasn't doing it the best.
But that's a perfect thing to work on. Because when you create more diversity happening when you're not in charge, but you're facilitating, you've got to always be directing attention, because these are young teenage girls, or pre-teenage, right? They're easily distracted. But they're very focused on doing it right. But you have to direct them towards it, right?
Yeah.
Great. Good. So any last comments for me for the course overall?
I mean, I thought it was great. I probably could have put a little more effort into the forums, personally.
So I chased you up.
Sorry?
I kept chasing you.
Oh, yeah. You were all over me. But, yeah, I mean, I've talked to my parents, who are both teachers, and I've talked to them about my experience in school, and I've told them multiple times this semester that I've gotten more out of this class than probably everything else combined. In terms of what I want to do,
great,
and what I want to get out of school, this has been
well, and that's
awesome.
good. It's turning you in the direction of going the teacher education route, because you're obviously passionate about it, and you worked really well with Emma, and Emma worked well with you. So that is also another that you can work off someone else and acknowledge their abilities, and then find spaces to show you can contribute to a team, right? And so she was very comfortable working with you, and said that it worked so well. So that was really good. So that all those things are foundational to going into the teaching profession.
Yeah.
Right? Because girls like this that you taught benefit when teachers team teach to their passions and then create the conditions. That's what you were doing. They loved coming to class, so that was great. So I'll see you next time in 452.
Yes, see you next week.
Okay. And have you done the CES?
No.
Get that done?
Yeah.
For the end of the day?
Is it due by the end of the day?
It's tomorrow by the latest,
Okay.
but maybe today. I'm not sure. They shut down pretty damn quick.
Okay, I'll do it.
I've got 3 online now.
Perfect. I have the next 8 hours